Today I am going to take a section on protection and security in operating systems. So these are the main management of operating systems. A system should be protected from unauthorized uses. So mainly there are two types of uses, that is authorized uses and unauthorized uses. Authorized uses, that means they are having a username then followed by password. Unauthorized means their main task is hacking and cracking. So we are moving to, that is security and protections. So protection, first of all we are moving to, that is what is the protections. So a protection, that is, it refers to a mechanism for controlling the access of programs or users to resources. That means it is a mechanism for controlling the access. If you want to access some particular programs, that was done with the help of these protections. Then it must provide means for specifying the controls to be imposed. Then security is a measure of confidence that integrity of a systems and it will be preserved. And so these are the reasons for protections, that is prevent the mischievous intentional violation of an access restrictions. That is, it ensure that each program's components uses system resources only in a way consistent with the system policies. Then a key principle for protection is the principle of least privilege. Programs, users and systems are given just enough privileges to perform their task. Then it should enable to provide privileges when needed and disable them otherwise. So these are the domain of a protections. A computer system, then it contains mainly a collection of processes and objects. That objects means we are referring as a resources. So mainly there are two different types of resources, that is hardware resources and software resources. Hardware resources are CPU, memory, printers, disk, etc. And software resources, that means it contains files, programs and semaphores. So these are the diagrams for domain of a protections. That means these are the permissions, that is we are having read, write, execute and print. So these are the four types of permissions. If you want to read a data, the permission is read. Write, that means if we want to copy and paste. Then execute, so that particular file we are moving to another disk. Print, that means you can take print out the. So and then domain of protections, that is to facilitate this scheme's process should operate within a protection domains. Each domain defines a set of objects and types of operations that may be invoked on each object. Then these are the domain structure. The first one is each user may be a domain. That is first one, user may be a domain. Second one is each process may be a domain. That means the set of objects that can be accessed depends on the identity of the process. And third one is each procedure may be a domain. So these are the the domain of a protections, that is the set of objects that can be accessed corresponding to the local variables defined within a procedure. The next one, access controls. The access to objects can be restricted in a similar ways as the access to file. For each object's access control information is added. And so then security and protections. Then protection is strictly an internal problems. Security is also considered as an external problems. A protection systems is ineffective, for instance, if a user authentication is compromised. Security violations can be categorized as an intentional or accidental. It is easier to protect against accidental security violations. Protection methods mostly considered accidental security of violations. Then next we are moving to a main important section, that is called a treat. A treat is a potential for a security violations. That means it is a set of rules. Then what are the different types of treats? That is breach of confidentiality, unauthorized reading of data, unauthorized persons reading the data. Second one is breach of integrity, that means unauthorized persons modification of data. Second one. Then breach of availability, unauthorized persons that destruct the corresponding data. Then theft of service, unauthorized use of resources. Then denial of service, preventing legal level of, that is, use of the systems. Then methods to breach security, that is masquerading one participant in a communication pretends to be someone else. That means there is intentional communication, that is one person's that corresponding to second person, and then third one is third one, and that is third person's. Then attacker, that is it contains a breach authentications. Next one, reply a captured exchange of data. Intruder repeats a valid data transmissions. Then this may even constitute the complete attack. Then to protect a system, we must take security measure of at 4 levels: physical level, human level, operating system level, and network system. Physical means the site containing the computer system must be physically secured against armed or suspicious entry by intruders. Second one, human. Authorization must be done carefully to assure that only appropriate users have access to the system. That means the user having corresponding username and password. Then operating system must be protect itself from accidental or purposeful security breaches. Runway process could constitute an accidental denial of service attack. The network, that means interception of data on network lines could reveal private data. Then next one is program traits. A security threat is most often posed by a program, Trojan horse, trapdoor, logic bomb, stack and buffer overflow, and last one is viruses. Trojan horse എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് a text editor, for instance, may search an open file for specific keywords and act as accordingly. Trapdoor means it might also be included in the compiler so that the scan of source code alone will not reveal the security threats. So it is an internal part. Then third one is logic bomb, a program that initiates a security incident only under certain circumstances is called a logic bomb. It is hard to detect since under normal operations no security hole is apparent. Then stack and buffer overflow, most commonly way for attack outside the systems, attack through dial-up neural network. So it is a physical problems. Then we are moving to what is a viruses. A virus is a fragment of code embedded in a programs. That means it is typically designed to infect other programs. Viruses are typically very specific to architectures, operating systems, and applications. So virus can be belongs to several categories. A file, the virus infects a system by appending itself to a file. It changes the start of program so that execution jumps to its code. Then boot. Second one is boot. The virus infects the boot sector of the systems, executing every time the system is booted and before the operating system is loaded. And third one is macro. Macro viruses are written in a high level language such as a Visual Basic, triggered when a program capable of executing the macro is run. And virus can belongs to several categories. Source code. This virus looks for a source code and modifies it to include the viruses and to help to spread it. The next one is polymorphic, changes each time it is installed to avoid detection by antivirus softwares. And third one is encrypted. The virus is encrypted to avoid detections, contains decryption code along with the viruses. That is, first it encrypts and then executes. Then virus can belong to several categories. That is, stealth attempts to avoid detection by modifying parts of the system that could be used to detect it. Then next one is tunneling. That means attempts to bypass detection by installing itself in an interrupt handler chain. It is that means affected device drivers. And multi-partitioned virus B is able to infect multiple parts of a system, boot sector, memory, files, etc. Then that is ARM code to make it hard for antivirus researchers to unravel and understand it. Then system and network trees. System and network trees involve the views of services and network connections. The services are available over a network, and more likely it is that a bug is available to exploit. Then increasingly operating systems are secure by default. So these are the encryption part. Encryption constrains the possible receives of message. A message that is moving to this one. This is the center part and this is the receiver part. So it moves. So there are different ways. That is secure change